Wherever you all over the world, I welcome you. You are highly welcome, everybody, wherever you are. Wherever you are, I welcome you. You are welcome. Wherever you are, you are welcome. You are welcome, everybody. I welcome you. Please share the broadcast immediately. Share the broadcast as you're joining us. I want you to share the broadcast immediately. Wherever you are joining us from, we are live and direct. And please, it is important that you share the broadcast. It is very, very important to share the broadcast right away without any procrastination. This is eve of election broadcast. It is eve of election broadcast. We are here to remind the world and our people what that they will be facing and what they must understand, what that they must bear at the back of their mind should they proceed to the polls tomorrow. That is exactly what we are here to do tonight, to remind them it is our duty and responsibility to tell the world the truth. It is our duty and responsibility to tell the world what we know. And also, it is our duty to remind them from time to time what we have told them in time past. It is our duty, it is our responsibility. And that is why we are here live on air. That is why we are here once again tonight. And please, to help them understand that we are live and direct, you will do so by sharing the broadcast immediately. Help and share the broadcast immediately. It is late night broadcast for the eve of election. And please, if you can hear me, I want you to indicate via the comment box. If you can hear me, I would appreciate you indicate via the comment box. If you can hear me. Can you hear me? If I am coming out clear, I would like you to indicate via the comment box. I am looking at the comment box and I want to know if I am coming out clear, because we had a lot of technical challenges while trying to broadcast tonight. We had a lot of technical challenges, a lot, quite many. We were able to sketch through, and that is why you can hear my voice right now. A lot of things are not right from our own end. A lot of technical issues are not in order from my own end. But I am duty bound to be here tonight because our people are about to embark upon an 8-year journey to the land of Moab tomorrow. And we must bring it to the knowledge, to the understanding that where they are heading to is the land of Moab any moment from now. And that very journey is going to take about 8 good years. The first thing to do right now is to share the broadcast. That is very, very important. That is the first thing to do. You know, we are coming on late. The time now is 24 minutes past 10 p.m. here in Biafra land where I am. It is 24 minutes past the top of the hour wherever you all over the world. We are duty bound. Look at the screen and see the banner. The banner says Eve of Election Broadcast. Today's date is 24th. Today's date is 24th February 2023. We are live and direct. I am Pastor Maxwell Nnawuihe, the senior pastor of God's Praise International, the appointed place. 8 years journey to the land of Moab is what our people are about to embark upon any moment from now as they head to the poles. 8 years journey to the land of Moab is what Nigerians are about to embark upon as they head to the pole any moment from now, in a few hours from now. 8 years journey. I am telling you exactly where they are heading to. I am telling you where Nigerians are heading to, regardless of their religious inclinations, regardless of their societal or social status or financial status, regardless of their tribe, regardless of their ethnicity, regardless of their academic attainments, regardless. Anyone that is right now preparing to go and vote tomorrow in the general election to elect the so-called president of Nigeria and of course the members of the National Assembly of Nigeria, they are inadvertently embarking upon an 8 years journey to the land of Moab. I am telling you tonight exactly what they are about to do. It doesn't matter how logical or how politically correct they may sound in your ears in the narratives or the rhetorics as usual. Across the platforms of mainstream medias all over the country, it doesn't matter how sound their logic, how convincing their logics may be. Every point that they are bringing forward for the consumption of the populace, for the consumption of approximately 200 million people who are Nigerians, whatever analysis that they are making, political analysis, trying to project who will be the unavoidably president-elect in the forthcoming presidential election any moment from now. It doesn't matter all the rhetorics. It doesn't matter all the analysis. It doesn't matter all the movement. It does not matter the deployment of troops across the length and breadth of Nigeria to ensure a smooth, fair, credible election, in quote. Any moment from now, I am bringing all of them together, summarily telling you exactly what they are about to do, exactly what they are preparing to do. They are telling you they are preparing for election. They are telling you they are going to elect their president. They are telling you they are going to elect the members of the National Assembly of Nigeria at the polls tomorrow, which is few hours from now. That is what they are telling you. But I am here telling you exactly what is about to happen. I am here as the servant of the Most High God, an incorruptible prophet of the Most High God that speaks the mind of God at all time. It doesn't matter how people understand it or how they twist it or how they try to make a mountain out of an anthill. It doesn't really matter those that love me or those that hate me. I am here as the echo chamber of the voice of God, as I've told you repeatedly, to say exactly, or rather to echo exactly what God has said. We had a lot of technical challenges before we were able to make it. And I don't know how I'm going to do the things I have in my hands today. I don't know how to do them. I have a lot in my hand which need some devices to be up and running, but unfortunately they are not. Except before the end of this broadcast, they are able to come up to render the service for which we bought them. If they are not, we will make do of what we have. Please, once again, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night to some of you, depending on your time zone. I am Pastor Maxwell Nnawuihe, the senior pastor of God's Praise International, the appointed place. Looking at the banner on the screen, eve of election broadcast, that is what we have right now. Eve of election broadcast, that is what we have now. And focus, the focus is the subtopic of it, the caption of it. The focus is the 8 years journey to the land of Moab, which they call election. It is 8 years journey to the land of Moab. That is what they're preparing to do all over the country called Nigeria right now. In the east, in the west, in the north, in the south, they are preparing. Anyone that is telling you they are preparing for the election tomorrow, tell them no, that you are preparing to travel to the land of Moab. And this very journey is going to take you 8 good years. If your neighbors are preparing to go to the polls tomorrow to vote according to them, the candidate of their choice, to vote their conscience in quotes, according to them, they want to go and vote their conscience. Tell them no, you are not right. Tell them you are going to the land of Moab. Polls is a typology of the land of Moab. And this very journey you're about to embark upon is going to take you 8 good years, which approximately is going to terminate in 2032. One talks to make it very clear to our siblings back home, those of you that are in the diaspora. I want you to bring it to the foreknowledge, or should I say, to the memory, to the consciousness of our people, our mothers, our fathers, brothers, sisters, uncles, cousins, nephews, aunts, nieces, regardless who our relations are or relatives are. We must allow this very podcast tonight to be embedded in the consciousness that they may understand exactly what they are about to do in few hours from now. 8 years journey to the land of Moab. That is the election of tomorrow. I am telling you now, write it down. Make sure that you save this broadcast. Make sure if you are taping the broadcast, it is good. It is very fine. It is fantastic. And keep it by the corner. In the next 4 years, we are going to remind you this. And of course, if Christ tarries and God blesses us with long life, in the next 8 years, when this very journey they are about to embark upon tomorrow must have terminated, which is in 2032, we are going to come back and refer to this broadcast tonight. Today, the 24th day of the month of February, 2023. I am the servant of the Most High God. I'm not the servant of man. Therefore, my ministry is not to please man. The Church for God's Praise International, the appointed place, is not established to sing the praises of man. It's not established for selfish, or amassment of wealth, acquisition of wealth that is not according to the principles or in perfect alignment with the word of God or purpose of God. Many men of God have been speaking in favor of different candidates in this very so-called election that is going to take place a few hours from now. Many of you have heard them. Many of you are aware. Many of you are abreast with all the reports and all the updates across the length and breadth of Nigeria. Mega church pastors have been speaking, prophesying, declaring, praying, proclaiming, projecting, and the members, their flocks across the country are, of course, heading in the direction that has been provided for them by their spiritual fathers, by their daddy GOs or mommy GOs. But for me, I have a very clear, distinct stand, as I have always done. We are not among the crowd. We are not one of those that joins the bandwagon. We are not. We are very, very special. We go for what is right, what is pure, what is righteous, what is justice, what is truthful, what is honest, what is for the best and overall interest of our people, of our nation, of our generation. Please share the broadcast, like the broadcast, share it, because it is the right thing to do. If you don't share this broadcast, I wonder what you will share. That others may join us. That others may join us. That others may join us as soon as possible. I recognize every one of you that have joined us. I recognize every one of you that have joined us. Nze, you are welcome. Nkechinduka, you are welcome. Imelda Ohaunwa, you're welcome. Dr. Joy Irobi, I welcome you. Adaoko, I welcome you. Wherever you are, every one of you, I can see you joining us. I welcome every one of you. Yes, we did not produce the banner ahead of time. We did not pre-inform our people that will be on air today. It is due to a lot of schedules. But all the same, we are here. Share the broadcast immediately. Mary Ike, you are welcome. Share the broadcast immediately. Don't allow anybody who is so myopic, who is so retrogressive in thinking, who don't understand the terrain, the political terrain of Nigeria, to deceive you with any false hope. The hope of the Igbo man is in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria, not P2B. The hope of an Igbo man is right there in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria, not Ahmed Tinubu. The hope of an Igbo man for better life, for equality, for real dividend of democracy is locked up far away in the dungeon of the Department of State Services, DSS, Abuja, Nigeria, in the person of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The hope of every business Igbo man, professional Igbo man, indigenous people of Biafra is not Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. The hope of the Southerners is not Mr. P2B. The hope of the Southerners is not Ahmed Tinubu. The hope of the Southerners is not Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. The hope of the Oduduwa people is not Ahmed Tinubu. The hope of the Oduduwa people is not Atiku Abubakar. The hope of the Ududuwa people is not even Mr. P2B. Our hope is in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria. That is where our hope is. And let nobody deceive you. Let nobody distract you. Let nobody directly or indirectly shift your focus from this very hope, from this very assurance of a better tomorrow that God has given to us in the person of Mazen and the Kano. Welcome every one of you. Jenny Oyama, you are welcome. Sunday DK, you are welcome. Share the broadcast immediately. Looking at the caption of this broadcast, it is very clear. What do you call integrity? What do you call honesty? I epitomize it. I exemplify it. What do you call forthrightness? What do you call steadfastness? What do you call purity? I exemplify it. I epitomize it. I don't change. For those of you that have known me about 2 years now or a year now, who have not known me long enough, I believe that 12 months is a long time enough to determine a man that is constant, a man that is dependable or reliable. And those of you that have known me for 2 years now, that is not long enough, anyways, because I've been doing this for the past 8 years. But if you have been so consistent and following up all my broadcasts, all my speeches, my comments, my body languages, my expressions, my sacrifices, and everything I have ever done that was brought to the public knowledge, you will conclude, and you by yourself will know that I exemplify what is called tenacity, integrity, relentlessness, dedication, faithfulness. I don't even, I don't even think about it. I don't even contemplate it. I don't. What I tell you in the morning, I will tell you in the evening. I will tell you in the afternoon. I will tell you any time that the need arises, I'm going to repeat it. I don't need to remember what I say because whatever I say is the truth and I don't forget it. They are always. It is when you lie that you try to remember what you said at that time so that you can be able to say exactly the same thing in order to continuously deceive the people. Share the broadcast immediately. What Nigerians are about to do is what I captioned 8 years journey to the land of Moab. I am going to tell you from the scripture, Ruth chapter 1 from verse 1 to 6. That is exactly what they are about to do tomorrow in the election. They are telling us that they want to elect Mr. P2B for a better Nigeria, a prosperous Nigeria, a Nigeria that the future is so bright, a Nigeria that holds prospect for our unborn children, so they said, that they want to elect Mr. P2B because of his competence and capability and, of course, capacity to deliver on his electioneering campaigns promises, to deliver on what the people will unilaterally describe as the dividend of democracy. So they keep telling us. On the other hand, some are campaigning and championing for the emergence or for the election of Ahmed Tinubu for this Nigeria, better Nigeria, prosperous Nigeria. Some are on top of the voices, trying to convince the world and trying to convince the very gullible people that it will require Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to give Nigerians such a prosperous nation that has been the dream of their lives. Some pastors are doing the same. Some great revered men of God are doing the same. Very prominent clerics that commands mammoth crowds, that commands millions of followership all over the world are doing the same. And of course, political jobbers are doing the same, trying to convince the world that the election is the way to go. But tonight, I am here to tell you what the Lord told me. I am here to echo the voice of the Most High God in a very simple caption that is not complicated, that doesn't need dictionary definitions to understand. Right there, displaying on the screen before the eyes of the world. This is what the Lord has to say. It is 8 years' journey to the land of Moab. Some churches are having vigil tonight, pre-election vigil, praying for their candidate. All of those prayers, we end up in 8 years' journey to the land of Moab. Write it down. Write it and don't throw it away. Write it down and keep it somewhere where you will always remember it. Whether you hear my voice about it again or not, this very voice you're hearing tonight is enough. In the next 4 years, in the next 4 years, in the next 8 years, this voice you are hearing now is enough. This is not a show. This is not a fashion parade. This is a spiritual warfare. This altar is the altar of the Most High God, where truth is spoken without fear or favor. They are preparing to embark upon an 8 years journey to the land of Moab. I want you to share the broadcast immediately. Please share this very broadcast immediately. I am going to play a lot of clips. That is why we try to make sure that our devices were up and running, but unfortunately, it don't seem to be so. I am still contemplating how I am going to do it tonight because it is important. I did not plan to talk much in this broadcast tonight. I wanted some videos to do the talking that you may be able to balance the whole perspectives that are coming from different places, from different persons. And then you will be able to make your personal decision tonight against tomorrow. I will still try to see how I'm going to do it. Maybe I'm going to play some of those clips from my phone. I don't know how I am going to do it. Maybe that is what I'm going to do. And I believe that the Lord will guide you in the path of truth, not in the path of deception, not in the path of rhetorics, not in the path of the influence of the rabble rousers, not in the path of the political jobbers, not in the path of those whose stock and trade is the blood of the people, the subjugation, the marginalization of the people. But today you have seen it already. You can see the manifestation of our prayers, that even when they try to cover their tracks so smartly that they have been forced out of the hiding places of deception, they have been forced. They have been forced by the spiritual force, the force of prayer. We have given them enough heat, spiritual heat, that they couldn't hide anymore, that they couldn't cover their lies and their deceptions anymore. They are now fighting in the open. They are now fighting shamelessly in the public, in the market square, dancing naked at the town square, dancing stark naked in the view of the whole world. Within the legal team of IPOB, of Mazen Americano, within the IPOB hierarchy, you can see it happening. Things are falling apart. The real bad eggs, the real bad eggs, the real betrayals, saboteurs, sellouts, political jobbers who have been feeding on the blood of innocents, who have been riding on the wings of the man in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria, Mazen Americano. Today, their dance of shame is in the view of the whole world. As we prayed last year ceaselessly for 3 consecutive months non-stop. Every prayer we offered on this altar last year, God has been answering them one after the other. All of you that are watching right now, most of you, as I'm seeing your names now, you were there throughout the days, the weeks, and the months of those spiritual exercise, intensified prayers, prayers of intercession, prayers of supplication offered on this altar on behalf of Nnamdi Kanu and Biafran people. You can see the manifestation of them. You can see. You can see it. You are witnesses. On this very altar, the Lord did it. Share the broadcast immediately. Share this broadcast immediately. Never allow anybody to deceive you tomorrow. Never you ever allow anybody to swindle you, to swindle your conscience, to swindle, to bring you under influence of false hope. Never you allow them tomorrow. We are not voting no nobody. I and every member of our church for God's Praise International, the appointed place, to hell with their election. To hell. To hell. Those who are traveling to the land of Moab. To hell. To hell with the PVC. To hell with the Igbo presidency. To hell with whoever that they are projecting as the ideal presidential material for a better Nigeria. To hell. Every one of them to hell. No member of God's Praise International, the appointed place, will come out tomorrow. They can't step out of their houses tomorrow. Name. All in the name of going to the poll to vote for anybody. We have already cast our vote. Our vote is for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and the Biafra restoration. We are as constant as the light. We don't change. We don't sit on the fence. We stand out where others are contemplating on what to do. We stand out. We take our stand. We already know what to do, and we do it. We don't contemplate. We don't think whether we have made the right decision or not. We know we have already made the right decision, and we go ahead and implement it. We don't shake. We don't think twice. I epitomize, I represent, I exemplify integrity. I am so happy that the grace of God made available to me has not been in vain. I have nothing to lose. I have nothing to protect. I have nothing to gain. Whatever it is, all glory goes to God. We cannot travel to the land of Moab all in the name of election tomorrow. We cannot do it. Everyone that is preparing to Vote tomorrow at the polls. Everyone that is planning, everyone that is bringing out his PVC tonight, anyone that is preparing his PVC, you say, where is your PVC? Have you brought it out? Any man or woman that is asking the children to go and bring out their PVC and make sure that they have kept it on the table so that they will not look for it tomorrow for accreditation at the election, the polling unit. Such people are doing so in preparation to travel to the land of Moab, which journey will last for 8 good years. Is the land of Moab. That's where they're going to. Their PVC is going to be like their traveling document or their international passport. Their PVC is going to be like their passport or their traveling document. Where are they traveling to? Anyone that is telling you they are going to vote tomorrow, tell them that you are traveling to the land of Moab, and this very journey is going to last for 8 good years. If you don't understand what the land of Moab implies, if you don't understand what the land of Moab means, the scripture is there. The book of Ruth, chapter 1, from verse 1 to 6. I am going to talk about it a little bit, but I'm not going to preach tonight. I am here to remind the world. I am here to remind Biafrans all over the world. I am here to remind Nigerians. I am here to remind everyone that is under the sound of my voice what Nigerians are about to do tomorrow, all in the name of election. It is not election, it is a journey to the land of Moab, and this very journey is going to last for 8 good years. We will still be here. God will keep us alive to prove and to defend the truth that we have spoken without fear or favor. We will be here. We will be here. And we will continue to give you updates of what we told you, which most of you refuse to heed. We will be here on this very altar of Most High God in heaven, to consistently or continuously remind you of things we told you, of the counsel of the Most High God that we declared to you without mincing words, which most of you flattered. We will be here. There is no hope in your ballot boxes. There is no hope in your ballot papers. There is no hope in your PVCs. There is no hope coming from your so-called preferred candidates. The only hope that you have is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, believe it or not. No true Biafran will go to the polls tomorrow. No true Igbo man. No Igbo man of high integrity and value will go to the polls tomorrow to vote. You cannot do it. Your hope is in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria, in the person of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. You cannot spite him. You cannot insult him. You cannot be so insensitive of his sacrifices that are beyond calculation, that outweighs whatever you think you're going to benefit in the next 8 years. You cannot spite all of that. You cannot sweep all of that under the carpet in the pretext of going to the polls to elect Mr. P2B for a better Nigeria. Igbo man that is a businessman, or Igbo man that is an importer, Igbo man that is a professional, Igbo man, student for a better Nigeria, that P2B may come and give you a better Nigeria. Who gave Mr. P2B the voice? Who amplified the voice of Igbo presidency, if not the Biafra Restoration Project, ably led by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, on whose wings they are riding today? Mr. P2B is riding, is diffusing, or should I say, is utilizing the momentum that was generated by IPOB led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mr. P2B is riding on the glory of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu into Aso Rock. He want to ride on the wings of Nnamdi Kanu. He want to ride on the glory of Nnamdi Kanu into Aso Rock. Where we are there before the coming of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, where we are there. Did anybody talk about restructuring prior to the advocation, or should I say the activism of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Did anybody talk about, did they even remember to talk about restructuring prior to the broadcast of Nnamdi Kanu, prior to his very strong activism for referendum or campaign for referendum for Biafra freedom? And after the momentum was generated, after the world gave the attention and gave him listening ear, after the world was so conscious to mark the activities of IPOB and to add credibility, or should I say, accord them legitimacy and credibility that they truly deserve, all of a sudden you began to hear about restructuring. After restructuring, you began to hear Igbo presidency. All of a sudden, Mr. P2B came out. Who gave him the audacity? Who gave him the balls? If not the momentum that was generated in the southeast across the entire Biafra land through IPOB led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who are there to come and talk about Igbo presidency, let alone to generate such attention and support, unmerited support that could be termed or defined as a miracle being accorded to Mr. P2B. Who did it? Who made it happen? If not the man in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria. In case some people are suffering from short memory, in case they have lost memory, who made it possible? It is a mark of honor that you refrain from anything election in the honor, in the respect, in the regard of the man in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a mark of honor and respect and revere. You have to do it tomorrow. Don't sell your conscience. Selling your conscience is not selling your PVC. Selling your conscience means going to the poll to vote in spite of the sacrifices of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is selling your conscience. Selling your conscience is not submitting your PVC for those who are buying votes. That is not selling your conscience. Selling your conscience is you, without your PVC, going to the poll tomorrow to vote. To vote in spite of the sacrifices of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is selling your conscience. That is selling your conscience, selling it. And guess what? When you sell your conscience tomorrow, you are going into the land of Moab, and the journey is going to last for 8 good years. I'm going to tell you what will happen. I will tell you. As I said some minutes ago, for those of you that don't understand what it means to travel to the land of Moab, I have provided a scripture for you. The book of Ruth, chapter 1, from verse 1 to 6. You know what happened there. Now, if you read the book of Ruth, chapter 1, from verse 1 to 6, I'm going to read because of time. The Bible says, now it came to pass. I am reading from the King James Version. Now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled, when the judges were in charge of the government of the people, when the judges were the administrators of the state affairs, when the judges ruled, that there was a famine in the land, just as we have it today. just as we have it today. There is famine in the land. There is famine in the land. There is shortage of cash flow. Today, a few minutes before I came on air, it was not up to 1 hour. I bought 10,000 naira with 3,000 naira. I bought 10,000 naira with 3,000 naira. I bought it. I'm not telling you that I bought dollars. I am not telling you that I bought pounds or euro. No. I bought 10,000 naira, Nigerian naira, 10,000. I have to buy it for 3,000 naira, 3,000. 5,000 naira goes for 1,005. You can't even think of going to the banks because that will be a waste of your time, a waste of your time, a loss of man hour that you should use for something meaningful for yourself. Going to the bank is a total waste of time. We go to the POS. Before you will be able to have or see any POS agent that has cash, it is extremely difficult and nearly impossible in a whole street, in a whole place. Out of 100 POS attendants or agents, you can only have about 3 that has cash or that have cash to give. And so the fee you pay in order for you to have your cash, in order for you to get cash for the POS is 1,500 naira for 5,000 naira. In other words, if you're collecting 5,000 naira, they are going to give you 3,005 and they will take your 1,005. In other words, if you need 10,000 naira, they are going to give you 7,000 naira and they will take your 3,000 naira. Just like that. But before now, the charge for 5,000 naira is 100 naira. 100 naira. 100 naira for 5,000 naira. 200 naira for 10,000 naira. But within these 3 weeks now of the so-called Naira redesign policy, remember what I told you 8 years ago. Remember the campaign. Remember the electioneering campaign promises, the manifestos of the APC, the outgoing administration now. Remember all the heaven and earth that they promised you 8 years ago that made many of you to fight against Jonathan, that made many of them today that are clapping for P2B, many of them today that are championing for P2B, many of them today that are shouting P2B. That was how they were shouting Buhari. That was how they were clapping for Buhari. Many people had to trek from Zamfara State to Abuja to celebrate the victory of the former president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari. You have forgotten it. That to get your money, you can't even have access to your money, your own money, your money. The government didn't give you the money. You labor to get your money. You worked so hard to get your money. You were in the rain, you were in the sun. Some of you, you went extra mile, sleepless night to generate your money. Some of you, you took risks. Some of you, you were nearly killed by armed robbers in the course of your business, in the course of your job. Some of you, you narrowly escaped accident in the course of your business, in the course of your job. You were able to make your money. You now deposited it in the bank, that the armed robbers will not come to your home to steal your money in the home, in your house. You deposited your money in the bank, which is the right thing to do. Now, to go and get your money, to go and withdraw your money, you can't have access to your money. You can't have access to your money. You will now pay more money to get your money. And they are telling you tomorrow, come and change it. Come and vote them out. Come. The same way they told you, come and vote out. That was how they told you, Come and vote out Jonathan. Vote him out. He's incompetent. He's a woman. He doesn't have power. He doesn't have that political will. He cannot lead a nation. He's incompetent. Come and vote him out. Let the general come and take charge of the affairs of the country. He will end insecurity in 6 months. Boko Haram will end in 6 months. This is 8 years. Boko Haram has metamorphosed to different terrorist organizations with different alliances. Chibok girls, many of you have forgotten it. Is there anybody talking about Chibok girls now? Bring back our girls, which was one of the stage managed campaigns. Stage managed campaigns that took international center stage. Right at the White House, it was protested in order to blackmail the administration of the former president of Nigeria, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Azikiwe Jonathan. And they say when they vote in Buhari, he's going to bring back the Chibok girls. Today, where are the Chibok girls? Where are they? Show me where they are. Did he deliver on the promise? The answer is no. Has the electoral reform taken place to ensure a credible election in Nigeria? The answer is no. What is the electoral reforms in Nigeria to ensure that when you go to the polls tomorrow, the election is going to be free and fair? It is going to be credible. The answer is there is none. None exists. None exists. No constitutional amendment. None exists. The same umpire, the same people, the same system. That is not changed. That is not transformed. No reform. And you are clapping as if you don't have understanding. And you are jumping up and down as if you didn't attend any school at all in your life. And you are jumping up and down and making noise all over the place. That there's going to be a better Nigeria if Mr. P2B wins and becomes the president of Nigeria at the polls tomorrow. That there is going to be a better Nigeria if Tinubu becomes the president-elect. That there is going to be a very better Nigeria. Everything is going to work out fine. Atiku Abubakar, and he is a presidential material. He has been there in the helm of affairs. He was vice to Obasanjo. Very poor student of history, very pathetic in reasoning, retrogressive in reasoning. People that can't understand, people that lack basic common sense, common sense, they don't have it. On what basis? What is the guarantee of a credible election tomorrow? What is the guarantee of it? What is the basis? How do you put it together? What are the things you're going to put together, plus, minus, based on the electoral reforms? Electoral reforms, there is none. The same kind of election that brought in Mr. Buhari, the same. You are talking about card readers. You are talking about electronic voting. You are talking about electronic transmission of results. How successful have they been in the previous administration? How successful have they been? How successful have they been? Zero. Zero. You want to repeat the mistake of many, many years. You want to repeat it tomorrow. You want to repeat it tomorrow because you are hard at hearing. Because most of you are hard at hearing. Because most of you, your brains are blocked. Your ears are deafened. You can't hear anymore. You can't reason anymore. You are going to the polls to demonstrate before the whole world how gullible you are. You are going to the polls. It doesn't matter who you are tomorrow. You are going to the polls to vote. You are going there to show the whole world. Of course, their satellite is going to beam on Nigeria. They will see you jumping up and down, queuing to go for accreditation, and they're making jest of you. They will be laughing at you in their news centers and media platforms. They'll be making jest of a over 200 million men and women that are full of irredeemable ignorance, irredeemable or irreversible ignorance, who don't know history, who are daft, who are hard at hearing, who don't know what is best for them. That is what you're going to do tomorrow when you go to the polls tomorrow. That your PVC in your hands. I am telling you tonight, that PVC in your hands is like your international passport. Where are you traveling to? You are traveling to the land of Moab. That journey is going to last for 8 years. I continue with the scripture, the verse 1. I continue with it. Now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled that there was a famine in the land, as I've explained. We can't even see fuel to buy. Filling stations are fixing prices at will. There is no standard regulation of petrol pump price in the country. Different states, different prices. When you go to the north, the prices are quite below what we are buying in the south. And they have the petrol in quantity. There is no scarcity of petroleum in the north. But in the south, there is scarcity of petrol. And if you happen to find any filling station that is selling, the price is so high. Some are selling at 350 naira. Some are selling at 390 naira. Some are selling at 400 naira. Some are selling at 400 and something naira. This has been on since January, prior to the Christmas season, from the Christmas season to the New Year season, from the New Year season till now. But this was an administration that promised that every year they are going to build one refinery for Nigeria. What was the election campaign promises of Mr. Buhari when they were telling you to vote out Jonathan? That every year they're going to build a refinery, 1 year, one refinery. In other words, for 4 years of the first term, Nigerians were expecting to have about 4 newly built functional refineries. But this is 8 years. Not even one old refinery is functioning optimally. Not even one. Not even one. Not even one. Not even one. And the outgoing president of Nigeria has been the minister of petroleum for 8 good years. Buhari, Mr. Buhari has been the minister of petroleum of Nigeria, the minister of petroleum of Nigeria for 8 good years. Not even a turnaround maintenance of the old refineries to be able to produce barrels that the city can use in a day to produce. Not even to talk about exportation of the refined products. Not even one single refinery is functioning. He told you that he will make $1 equal to 1 naira. Today, how much is dollars? Dollars in the black market as of today is about 755 naira. About 755 naira for a dollar. A dollar. There is famine in the land. And what happened? Look at the verse 2 of the same book of Ruth, chapter 1. Because there was famine in the land, because the judges are ruling and there is famine in the land, a family decided to travel to the land of Moab. That family was the family of Elimelech. Elimelech was the husband of Naomi. Naomi was his wife. They had 2 sons, Mahlon and Chilion. They are from the tribe of Benjamin. The tribe of Bethlehem in Judah. They are Ephrathites. They are from Ephraim, of the tribe of Ephraim and Bethlehem, Judah. And they decided to travel to the land of Moab. And they continued there. Why did they travel to the land of Moab? For a better future. As some of you want to go to the polls tomorrow for a better future. They decided to travel to the land of Bethlehem, Judea, out of the land of Israel, and they decided to travel into the land of Moab for a better future, that they will survive the famine, that they may have food on the table, that they will not die of famine, that their family may be preserved, rather than die in the midst of the famine in the land, that they may have employment, job opportunities. They traveled out of the land of Judah and they traveled into the land of Moab for self-preservation and for food security. Just like some of you are about to go and vote tomorrow. You want a better country. You want a better Nigeria. You believe that P2P is going to do it for you. Or some of you believe that it's Tinubu. Some of you believe it's Atiku. Atiku is the right man for the job. He's the right candidate. Some pastors have been making millions of naira simply for praying for the political aspirant, or should I say the candidate of different political parties. Some men of God have been making a whole lot of money. You know, every electoral cycle is a time of business for some political pastors, not people like us. We can't even take care of our basic expenses because we don't have the money and we don't have the support of the people. The last time I made a broadcast here, that was the first week of this month. Since that time till now, it is only 3 people that sent something across to our account that we provided. Only 3 people. Sometimes when you see the account number displaying on the screen, you think that that is how people are pumping in money to support Maxwell Nnawuihe. The answer is no. Almost 1 month. The time I broadcasted here is going to 1 month now. It's only 3 people that decided to show support for the work of God. We don't have the money. That's why we have not been broadcasting. And of course, you know, in the course of the broadcast, I was also undergoing a training, which I graduated from last Saturday. I combined my academic works with the spiritual work. I never relented. We need money. There is famine in the land. There is shortage of cash supply. There is scarcity of petrol. And there is no light. Generator is on right now to power this broadcast tonight. Generator is on. Do you know how many liters of fuel that we consume every week? To fill my tank, my car tank is 70 liters. 70 liters. Can you calculate it? 400 naira petrol pump price times 70. How much is it? That is 28,000 naira. To fill my tank is 28,000 naira. How many days does it last? If I buy the fuel at the pump price of 400 naira to fill my tank, I'm talking of my car. I'm not talking about 3 generators. And of course, that you know we use generator more often than cars because there is no power supply. To fill my tank is about 28,000 naira because it's 70 liters. How many days do I use it in a week? How many days? How many? Generator is about 25 liters. The other generator is about 15 liters. The other one is about 10 liters. To fill the generators, how much is it? Do you know how much we burn on fuel, petrol alone in a week? In a week. In a week. In a week. 1 week. And you multiply it by 4 weeks in a month. And you multiply it by how many months? Throughout last year, I know how much we spent on fuel alone. We are not talking about other bills. We are not talking about rent. We are not talking about church. We're not talking about our residence. We are not talking about so many other bills. It is the grace of God that has sustained us to be alive and to still stand on the path of truth. We have been tempted to shift grounds. We have been tempted to join those who are sellouts, who are political jobbers, who are political prophets. And we said, no, we can never do it. We depend on the goodwill of our people. We are going through a lot. As a result of the widespread famine in the land of Bethlehem, Judah, the family of Elimelech decided to travel to the land of Moab in order to preserve their family, in order for them to survive, to have a better tomorrow, that their children, their sons, Mahlon and Chilion, will not die. Elimelech, as the man, the head of the family, he said, oh, I don't want my wife to suffer as a result of the famine. Let us travel to the land of Moab. We are looking for a better Nigeria. So they are telling you, vote P2B so that he will give you better Nigeria. That's what they are telling you. It simply means traveling into the land of Moab to have a better future, to have food on your table, to be able to pay your bills, to build industries for the country, to have employment opportunity for the youths, and all that infrastructure, academics, hospitals, aviation, marine transportation, all whatnot. That's what they are telling you that they're going to achieve by voting P2B. But I'm telling you tonight from the scriptures that you are about to travel to the land of Moab tomorrow. And you will see what will happen as we continue to read the scriptures. After that, I am going to play some clips, as I promised. I'm going to do so. Look at the verse 3. I beg of you, everybody, if you have your Bible with you, open to the book of Ruth, chapter 1. We are now reading the verse 3. Look at what happened. A man that traveled into the land of Moab so that he will not die in the land of Benjamin, in the land of Israel, as a result of the famine. I'm talking about Mr. Elimelech. He decided to go and vote so that there would be a better Nigeria. He decided to go and vote so that his children would be able to graduate from school as at when due, instead of the ASU strike. They decided to go and vote. Elimelech decided to go and vote so that there will be industry, there will be good, international airport in the southeast. You understand what I'm saying now? So that the seaports that are moribund could become functional optimally. So that there will be employment opportunity for the youths. So Elimelech decided to travel. Elimelech decided to go and vote tomorrow. Look at what happened. He didn't want to die. So he needed a better life for his family, for his lovely wife, Naomi, and his 2 sons, Mahlon and Chilion. He was the first guy. Others were still in the land of Judah. Others didn't travel. It was only the family of Elimelech that the Bible recorded that they traveled. They couldn't exercise patience. They couldn't wait on God for divine intervention, that the famine may be ended, that the land may be restored, as we are praying for the restoration of Biafra. No, the family of Elimelech, they were so in a haste, so in a hurry. They were driven by their appetite. They were driven by emotion and pressure. They were driven by what they want to eat, their well-being. of the family. Unfortunately, verse 3, Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left and her two sons. Naomi, the husband, Elimelech, who decided to go and vote so that there will be no police brutality, so that there will be security in Nigeria, so that the terrorists, Boko Haram, or the herdsmen that are killing and maiming people, it will be curtailed. The same Elimelech that was running away from death, that went to go and vote so that there will be good things, good opportunities. The same Elimelech died after voting. After voting, some of you will still die. Not those of you that are watching me now. May the Lord protect you and guide you in the name of Jesus Christ. After voting, they still died. After voting, they still killed them. After voting, their sons and their daughters were still killed. After voting, their money were still looted. Don't. By the time they will enter, you will begin to hear different grammar. The one you are hearing now is the one that APC introduced. There were grammars during the time of Jonathan. In the time of Obasanjo, there were different political grammars to define or to defend their inabilities to deliver on their campaign promises. After the travel to the land of Moab, it was in the land of Moab that Elimelech died. He did not die in the land of Israel. In the land of Israel, where there was famine, where there was hardship, where there was difficulties, where there was no food, he died in the land of Moab. Only 10 years after they traveled. What happened? Verse 4. And they took them wives of the women of Moab, the sons of Elimelech and Naomi, Mahlon and Chilion. They got married quickly. They easily integrated into the land of Moab. They married wives, Orpah and Ruth. They married. What happened? Look at the verse 5. Mahlon and Chilion died also, both of them. And the woman who, Naomi, was left of her two sons and her husband. Remember, Naomi traveled together with the husband and the two sons so that they will not die in the land of Judah because of hunger. Just like some people are going to vote tomorrow, husband and wife and children, some of them are preparing to vote tomorrow so that there will be food, so that there will be better Nigeria, so that there will be better governance, so that P2B will become the president, so that Tinubu may become the president or Atiku may become the president. Therefore, we are going to vote. And they voted, but after voting, they still died. But after voting, the country was never better. But after voting, the country was never ever salvaged from the hands and the evil intentions of the scavengers and those who delight so much in the subjugation of the people. That after they voted, the Western influence of over the economy of Nigeria was not relaxed. It was still intensified. The grip and the gripe of Britain was still stiff on Nigeria. After voting, tomorrow, after voting, Mahlon and Chilion died. And only Naomi was left. Naomi survived so that her story can caution you and advise you today. Olajide Oyebiyi is one of the fools commenting under this very broadcast tonight. Look at him. Look at him. Olajide Oyebiyi. You have the professor of law at Asarok by the name Professor Yemi Oshibanjo. the vice president of Nigeria, yet under his joint administration with Muhammadu Buhari, there is no rule of law. Olajide Oyebi, you fool. You fool. Olajide Oyebi, commenting trash. You have the VP of Nigeria as I'm talking tonight. Professor Yemi Oshibanjo is a professor of law. He is still the vice president of Nigeria as at tonight. He is still there. Yet, under his watch, as a professor of law, yet there is no rule of law in Nigeria in this very administration. Their administration does not obey court orders. You fool, Olajide Oyebi. Have you asked Professor Yemi Oshibanjo, a professor of law, why the administration of APC, led by him and President Muhammadu Buhari, why they don't obey court orders, why they don't obey the rule of law, why they don't obey court orders? Olajide Oyebi, have you asked the professor of law, who is your vice president? Have you? He's your brother because I can see your name, Olajide Oyebi. Have you asked the brother? And tomorrow you are foolishly and stupidly heading for the polls tomorrow to continue your idiocy. Because you don't have the basic understanding of the insight of the scriptures. You are blind. Your understanding is covered with darkness. You have no light. You have no discernment. That's why the country has been as it has been. The family of Naomi, they traveled to secure a better future for themselves. They were not guided by the Spirit of God. They were driven by emotions and pressure, just like some of you are driven. Some of you are being driven by emotions and pressure. That is why you want to go tomorrow to vote. That is why you want to go to the polls tomorrow to vote, because you are driven by materialism. You cannot sit yourself down and think critically and properly as a human being, rationally as a human being. This same election, every 4 years you go and vote. Every 4 years you go and vote. Every 8 years you go and vote. You have been voting since 1961. You have been voting. You have been voting and voting. You cannot sit yourself down and say, what next? We have done this several times over the decade. There is nothing comes out of it. No good result. Administration after administration, be it military, be it democracy till now. What next should we do? As people that are critical, that are sound in reasoning and thinking, that are progressive in thinking and reasoning. No, because you're daft. You will continue to stumble. Every time you keep stumbling, every time you will get to the same bad spot, you stumble. You will get to the same spot where you fell yesterday, you will still get there today and you will still fall. The same spot where you fell inside a ditch day before yesterday, you still get there tomorrow, you will still fall because you're a fool, because you don't think, you don't reason. You suffer loss of memory. They voted, still they killed them. Haven't you forgotten the Lekki target? Haven't you forgotten it? Haven't you forgotten how this same political class, how these same politicians hoarded the palliatives that were sent to help you during the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020? Haven't you forgotten? Are they not the same politicians? Are they not? Are they not the same politicians? Haven't you forgotten? You are forgotten, but we don't forget. The family of Elimelech, they did what they did in order to save their family. Still, their family died. It was hunger and famine that drove them into the decision to migrate en masse. The entire family migrated from the land of Israel, which is the covenant zone that God has given to them to settle them permanently. They traveled to the land of Moab to preserve themselves, but they lasted only 10 years in the land of Moab. They ate the food, but they died. The verse 6. Then she arose with her daughters-in-laws, that she might return from the country of Moab, for she had heard in the land of Moab how that the Lord had visited his people in giving them bread. I'm going to stop here. The scripture, I'm going to stop here. I just read from the book of Ruth, chapter 1, from verse 1 to 6. Remember, the entire family traveled to the land of Moab for a better tomorrow. But now, Ruth, Naomi, is now returning. Naomi returned as a widow. She traveled as a wife of a husband, as a mother of two sons. But now, Naomi is returning as a widow and without her two sons. Why did they travel? They traveled that they will not die as a result of the famine in the land of Israel. Why did they travel? They traveled to secure their family for a better future for their family. The same thing that some people want to go and do tomorrow. They don't want to die as a result of the famine. They don't want to die as a result of the economic woes. They don't want to die as a result of the hardship in the country. They don't want to die. They want the business to be sustained and progress. They want the best for the family. That's why they want to go and vote tomorrow. The same thing was exactly what the people, this very couple that we read from the scripture, that is exactly what they did to preserve their lives, to secure a better future, that they will not die as a result of mismanagement of funds, which is orchestrated by the rulership of the judges at the time. Still, they died. Naomi escaped to tell the story today that you may learn. They voted, still they killed them. They voted. Many churches campaigned for Buhari because of the presence and the influence of Professor Yemi Oshibanjo, who happened to be a pastor in the Redeemed Christian Church of God. Many Christians, they projected and they say, oh, look at the vice president of Buhari, the vice of Buhari is a pastor in Redeemed. Oh, he's even a pastor that is his vice. I believe the administration will do well. You look at him now, he's a pastor in the Redeemed and he's a professor of law. Yemi Oshibanjo is a professor of law. Let us vote for them. At least when Buhari remember that a pastor is his vice, he will not do certain things. Christians will be protected. With Yemi Oshibanjo as the vice president of Nigeria, with a Professor Yemi Oshibanjo there in Africa, the interest of Christians will be protected. Was it not what they told us? Was it not what they campaigned? And through the influence of Pastor Yemi Oshibanjo of Redeemed Christian Church of God, many Christians voted massively for Buhari. Just because of Professor Yemi Oshibanjo, a pastor, a professor of law. But at the end of the day, look at it. At the end of the day, because this is not about persons, this is not about individuals, this is about a system. That is how Nigeria was set up. This is exactly how Britain wants Nigeria to function. It is not about P2B. It is not about Ahmed Tinubu. It is not about Atiku Abubakar. It is about the system that is called Nigeria. That is set up. Nigeria was set up to fail from the beginning. And if you continue to make the same mistake every 4 years, you can never get the best that God has predestined for you as an indigenous person in this part of the world. All the energy that is being generated that was supposed to be used for a permanent solution to the dysfunctional system that is called Nigeria, they are diffusing it into a useless and futile effort tomorrow, all in the name of to elect Mr. P2B tomorrow. Rather than use the same energy and champion the cause of referendum, Why can't you think critically like people who have brains that God gave to you? The same brain He gave to the white, He gave to the blacks. The same brain, the same reasoning. You have the capacity to reason. You have it. But every time you tilt, every time you gravitate to this very pathetic way, retrogressive way of reasoning that have kept you backwards from year to year, you can't move forward from year to year because your thinking are always backward. You think backward. You don't think forward. You are not progressive in thinking. You are retrogressive in thinking. After Buhari was elected, it took him about 6 months to form his cabinet. And when some people talk, they say, oh, he's taking his time. They are taking their time so that he will get the best hands on deck, so that they will get the best hand. You know, he's a general. You know, the man is incorruptible. He's not a corrupt man. He's taking his time to form his cabinet so that the technocrats will emerge as members of his cabinet. 6 good months. Mr. Buhari could not form his cabinet. 6 good months. 6. And by the time the cabinet was formed, tell me one achievement from any of the ministries. Tell me, is it in power? Is it in housing? Is it in transportation? Tell me. Tell me. Tell the world that women know. Educate us. Open our eyes to see. Bring it forward that women know. Nothing. Zero. The worst administration so far. The worst. In the time of Jonathan, you were clamoring that, oh, when Jonathan become the president, you know, the South, you know, the South, you know, all those jargon, all those rhetorics, where are they? What did he achieve for the South? The North didn't give him breathing space. The North did not allow Mr. Goodluck Ebene Jonathan to do something to carry out major infrastructural project in the Southeast or in the South. They never allowed him. They kept on intimidating him. They kept on frightening him. All his attention was diverted to the North to appease them, to make them happy, that they may give him the next 4 years. He gave them the first 4 years that they may allow him. He was thinking that by the time he's re-elected into office, in the next 4 years, he was going to focus in the South. And he was kicked out. He was kicked out. He was disgraced out. He was bundled out. He was bundled. And many of you, some of your uncle helped in bundling him out. Many of you that are talking, many of you that are preparing now to vote out the so-called Mr. Buhari or APC, many of you, your uncle or your father or your aunt or even yourself, you joined forces with the forces and agents of darkness to remove Jonathan. All in the bed of change, APC change. Today, they are no longer chanting their slogan. They have changed it. They are no longer saying change. Professor of law, Professor Yemi Oshibanjo, pastor with the Redeemed Church. Still, Christians were killed. No intervention from the president, nor the vice. Churches were burnt. Churches. How many pastors, how many reverend fathers were killed, have been killed? How many churches have been massacred? How many? How many of them have been brought to justice? All the terrorism, how many? But you have a professor of law right there, and he's a pastor with the Redeemed in the Asorok. Yet, because this is not about individuals, this is about a system. Mr. P2B is going to do nothing with this kind of corrupt system that is called Nigeria. Nobody can do nothing right with this kind of system. It is a destructive system. It is a system that is like a dead sea. Anything you throw into it dies. It's a dead sea. Nigerian system doesn't flow. It's not. It's a dead sea. Anything that enters into it dies. Doesn't survive. Naomi came back empty-handed. Some of you, In the next 4 years, you may lose your 2 sons, you may lose your daughter, you may lose your husband. Naomi traveled for a better future for the family. They traveled to the land of Benjamin to secure the family, that they will not die of hunger. But eventually, the land of Moab that they traveled, which they believe is going to sustain them, there is food there, there is prospect there is future for them in the land of Moab. Was better for them, better alternative to the land of Judah that is ravaged by famine. Still, they died. Some of you that are championing P2B now, it may become your worst time in Nigeria if he emerges. Some of you championing Tinubu the same. Some of you championing Atiku Abubakar the same. It is not about individuals. It is about a system. You are about to embark upon an 8-year journey to the land of Moab tomorrow. That is what this broadcast is all about. And I'm going to try to play some clips before we bring this broadcast to an end. I'm going to try to bring some updates. Some updates. I'm going to bring it. Those of you in the diaspora, I want you to call our people back home. Try to educate them. Try to enlighten them. Try to inform them that what they are about to do tomorrow is a journey to the land of Moab, and this very journey is going to last for 8 years, which many of them may not survive. And I'm making it abundantly clear today that any Igbo man or any Biafran, it doesn't matter who you are, that goes to the polls tomorrow to go and cast a vote, you are insulting and you are showing how insensitive you are. You are spitting on the face of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, who is your hope as an indigenous person locked away in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria. You are wicked. You are very, very wicked and a horrible person. It doesn't matter who you are. I know that you will say, oh, I will not send anything to his account. Hungry will kill him. He's a stupid pastor. No problem. Don't send anything. If telling you the truth will make you to help me not to support the work of God, I don't care. I don't care. You are wicked. Any of you that will stand in any polling unit tomorrow, in the next 9 minutes, it is going to be the election date. It is going to be 25th of February. The time by the clock is 11:51 p.m. Any of you that will stand to vote tomorrow, if you are from Igbo, you are a Biafran, you will go and queue to go and vote. You say you want to vote Mr. P2B so that Nigeria will be better. He will release Nnamdi Kanu. You people are daft. You believe in I don't know how old your stupidity is. I don't know it. I don't know how old your myopic reasoning has been. I don't know. It's pathetic. The same way they were telling us, oh, Professor George Obiozo, he's doing something. Don't say anything about him. Oh. He's working to release Nnamdi Kanu. He's working. Don't mention his name. Don't ever mention his name. Be singing praises to him. Sing praises. Prostrate before him. Professor George Obiozo, former President General for Hanes Ndibo. Now he's dead. What is his result? What did he achieve? They say he was working to bring out Nnamdi Kanu. Don't talk. Don't mention his name. Don't mention his name. He's working hard. Is he not dead? With all due respect, I'm not insulting or saying anything bad against the dead, but that is the truth. when Professor Chukuma Soludo went to the prison, to the DSS dungeon, to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they changed his cloth, they positioned camera. All of a sudden, there was camera every year. He was wearing Atletico Madrid jersey. All of a sudden. And we say, look at this, look at this. These people are politicians. There is no solution. Forget about these politicians. They cannot do nothing that will favor us. They say, no, why do you talk about him? Why criticize him? He's a professor. He's a governor, the executive governor for Anambra State. His Excellency. He went there. He will bring him out. How many months? When the Alhambra election was about to hold, an IPOB decided to stage election boycott. They said, no, why can't you participate? If you can allow Anambra people to vote, when the governor enter, he will bring out Nnamdi Kanu. You people tell your people to come out and vote. Come out and vote. After voting at the Anambra election, 6th November, am I correct? 6th November, he will bring out Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will come out the next week. IPOB leadership came out on air and announced that they have cancelled the election boycott. You people should go and vote in the Anambra governorship election. They called it political solution. How many months down the line, what came out of it? What? Answer me. What came out of it? I remember when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was outside, prior to the election, which is the second term of Mr. Buhari. You remember when they told Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to cancel the election boycott, he came out on air, just like today, the eve of the election. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu announced that the election boycott has been cancelled, that our people should go out and vote for a candidate of their choice. You have been voting the candidate of your choice. You have been voting the candidate of your choice. You have been voting the candidate of your choice. You keep voting the candidate of your choice. What has come out of it? I keep asking you, what has come out of it? What has come out of it? And tomorrow you want to go again and vote for the candidate of your choice. That is displaying to the world how foolish that some people can be. How foolish. How foolish, incapable of reasoning some people can be. Election boycott was cancelled. Of course, our people went out. Oh, thank God, so that they will not say he's against PDP, so that they will not say he's against APP, so that they will not say he's against Labour Party, so that he will not say, oh, we are neutral. Yeah, IPOB is neutral. Yeah, we are not against. We are not in support. We are not against election in Nigeria, and we are not in support of election in Nigeria. A freedom fighter always make his position clear. You must take a stand. You must take a definite stand. You don't sit on the fence. You don't. Since you have been voting for the candidate of your choice, what has come out of it? Why can't you change the strategy and the pattern? Why not give a trial to referendum? Why not insist on referendum? Why not sit down in your house tomorrow? Why not sit quietly in your house? Enjoy your house. After all, there is no money for you to go and flex tomorrow. They have seized your money. After voting them, they seize your money. After voting them, they will kill you. After voting them, they won't give you power, no light. After voting them, the roads are bad. You can't even ply them. The highways are terrible. After voting them, no security. They are kidnapping people on the highway. After voting them, there is shooting, there is killing, police brutality, army brutality. Pensioners are not paid their pensions. After voting them, also strike 8 months. After voting them, there is mass exodus of our Nigerian doctors, there's mass exodus. They are running away from the country after voting them. Why can't you do something differently in order to have a better and long-lasting, satisfying result? At least before you die. I don't know how old you are. at least before you die, in your lifetime, that you'll be able to see visible and tangible changes, that you can be able to understand that God created the white, where there is development and civilization, is the same God that created the blacks. And we have the capacity and the ability to generate or to become a civilization of our own if we can do the right thing by securing the freedom of the very indigenous people, the people of Biafra. Why can't you do something differently, at least for once in your lifetime, before you die, that your children will be proud of? Very soon, we are going to bring this broadcast to an end. Tomorrow, we are going to continue. Tomorrow, we are definitely going to continue. I want to bring to you some of the video. At least I'm going to play one, two. I'm going to play one or two videos tonight, that you may know what you're about to do tomorrow. I want to play the video of Uchemefo, the fallen angel of Biafra restoration. I want to play his video, that you may understand how terrible these people are, that you may understand that the only man we have is Mazen Amdekano, that you may understand that there is no other person. It doesn't matter how they are trying to position themselves, that is worthy, that we can vouch for. Nobody. I want to bring the video of Mr. Uchemefo, the fallen angel of Biafra restoration, how he is now actively, practically, and outrightly championing election in Nigeria. Pathetic. Pathetic. We hear yourself. We hear him. Uchoka for Mefo. A man that made so much money as the deputy leader of IPOB. Oh, Diego. You will hear. These are the people you people are supporting. But people like us, they don't give a damn. They don't give a toss. All our suffering, all our sacrifices. Some of you don't know the sacrifices we are making. It's only a few that are so close. Only a few that are very, very close, who actually understand our sacrifices. And they do appreciate it. But it's not enough. A few people cannot do much for us. The work we are doing is immense. The load we are carrying is so much. It's weighing us down. It is weighing us down. It is weighing us down. And some people are folding their hands. They want us to fall to the ground. They want us to fall to the ground so that they will come and laugh at us. But they don't understand that the ark of the covenant of God, if you allow the enemy to capture it, you yourself will suffer defeat. You don't allow the ark to be captured. You support it. You protect it. You cannot do what I'm doing. We are called specially for this assignment. The grace that God has given to us is not in vain. We have been demonstrating it from time to time. You have been seeing the results. All the things we did last year, all the prayers we offered last year, you are seeing the result of it. You are seeing the result of it. We don't have up to 2% support, and we are achieving such mighty results, much less when we have up to 50% support. Much less. We need to go on a prayer retreat with about 470 men. We don't have the resources to take care of it. We don't. We are supposed to go on a prayer retreat. We are supposed to have prayer retreats. We are supposed to be on the mountain. We are supposed to be organizing prayer retreats. It's not public. Selected people, 470. that will continually stand in the gap, that will continually stand in the gap for Nnamdi Kanu, for Biafra restoration. We don't have the resources. We cannot do it because we don't have the resources. We have demonstrated what is faithfulness and dedication. We have achieved uncommon results that the generation unborn, when they hear what we have achieved, they'll be so proud of us. And when you compare the percentage of the support we have, it is not up to 2%. It is not up to 2%. It is not up to 2%. It's not. Why can't some people think and reason properly? Why can't some people and ask themselves, if this man of God, if this church was able to achieve these great results without significant support, what if we give him maximum support? What if we give the man of God enough support? He's going to achieve more. He's going to do more. Why can't it be that way? Why is it difficult for people to reason that very way? You can support whatever it is you have. Support the work we are doing. The work we are doing is not easy. Remember, we are here. We are facing the enemy. You cannot understand the risk we are taking for you, for our nation. God has been exposing them in the legal team. Everywhere they have been exposed. Everywhere in the hierarchy. Everywhere there's confusion. All the prayer we have been praying. Even the prayers we offer every Saturday with our Biafran women. God is answering. You are seeing the manifestation. Without this altar, without these prayers, they would have killed Nnamdi Kanu. I am bringing to you right now Mr. Uchemefo. I am bringing him to you right now. Right now, I'm bringing him. He's not flexing. He's not a former freedom fighter. He's not a full-blown politician. Amazing stuff. Oh. I gave you prophecy about him. I gave you prophecy. They refuse to listen to me. What is happening in our POB today, most of the things that are happening now, why Nnamdi Kanu is still held down, why all these things are still happening is because they are not listening to me. The authorities are not listening to me. They are not listening to what God has told me to tell them, which I told them. They are not listening. They are not. Let me bring to you Uchemefo. I gave prophecy. Powerful prophecies for Mazen Nnamdi and Chief John Nnawuihe. That prophecy, go and watch it. After this broadcast, go and watch it. It's a catalog of prophecies. Everything that is happening now, they were all captured in that very prophecy. They were all captured, very clearly captured. I came on air. I released it. Many of them in the DOS, they heard the prophecy. They heard it. They listened to it. And they said, man of God, we believe this prophecy. What you said is true. What you said is true. At the end of the day, what did they do? I asked them to forward it to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Let him listen and let him take the instructions I gave to him. There were instructions I gave to Nnamdi Kanu in that very video. I saw Uchemefo in that prophecy. That prophecy was published on the 16th day of July, 2020. On the 16th day of July, 2020. That was when that prophecy was published. Oh, my Lord and my God. Powerful prophecies from Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and Chief John Nnawuihe by Pst Maxwell Nnawuihe, published on trackandtime.co, 16th July, 2020. After that prophecy, what happened? Uchemefo collapsed. And after this prophecy, there was another prophecy I gave. Apparent war of sabotage between Uchemefo and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Are they listening to Maxwell? They are not listening. They cannot listen to me because I'm not their uncle. They cannot listen to me because I am not in the clique. I am not in the clique. I am not part of the clique. Many of the so-called men of God have built houses. Many of them have bought cars, built houses, bought lands. They are living large. But people like us who are making immense sacrifices are suffering, if not for the grace of God. The grace of God have, if not, we attacked 15 times last year. I was attacked. Accident 5 times. In order to kill him, destroy him. If you allow him, he will cause havoc. Let me bring to you Uchemefo. Look at him now. He made millions before he betrayed. Dear friends, we are falling on top of each other, listening to him. Listen to him now. Listen.
25th of February 2023 or on any other date, the Independent National Electoral Commission is going to fix for the finalization of the process. We would have known, the world would have known, those who are actually through conscientious, genuine freedom fighters.
If you can hear his voice, I want you to confirm to me that you are hearing his voice. If you can hear the voice of this man, Uchemefo, confirm to me that you're hearing the voice. Quickly, I want to see your comments. Confirm to me that you can hear the voice. I'm waiting for your confirmation. He's now behaving like a small boy, flexing, fallen angel. Amazing stuff. All right, we must continue.
By that time, you would have known that these people who are going about enforcing sit at home, going about enforcing election boycotts, imposing curfew indiscriminately, torturing, slaughtering, kidnapping, and beheading innocent Igbo Biafran sons and daughters are the real fake freedom fighters. They are doing all these, committing all these atrocities in the name of Biafra freedom. And we make bold to state that if Biafra is about killing, it's about maiming, it's about torturing, it's about intolerance, it's about systematic human rights violations, including violation of the right to life, violation of the right to freedom of association, freedom of conscience, freedom of worship, and so many others. If it is about the violation of the right to freedom from torture, and if it is about suppression of democratic voices, if it is about strangling democratic forces and destroying democratic institutions, then let that Biafra not come.
Did you hear him? This was the former deputy of IPOB. Former. You've heard him. So pathetic. I'm going to bring his next video. I'm going to bring it. You're going to hear where he was campaigning for election. Let me bring it without wasting time. Look at him. Shameless man.
come to throw more light on the issues before us. And one of such issues is the political participation in Biafra land and the wider context of its consideration. First of all, Biafra Restoration Project is political in nature, and therefore our people must not run away from political participation, especially in Biafra land, because that is the basis of.
Did you hear him? Did you hear him? That the Biafra restoration is political in nature. It's no longer freedom fighting. Did you see that? Look at his face. This was the former deputy leader of IPOB. He became a multi-millionaire while serving as the deputy leader of IPOB until he was bought over. I said he was a multi. They told you that he was paid £4,000 every month. Calculate it for how many years he was the deputy leader of IPOB. Calculate it. While serving as the deputy leader of IPOB, he was trained. He underwent, or he went to law school. He graduated as a lawyer. He married. He lived large. He was so comfortable in London. By the time he had grown wings, which Nnamdi Kanu helped him, developed him, sustained him, nourished him, took care of him, he now felt that he has become, larger than life, that he can no longer stay under the leadership of Mazen and Kanu. I'm not here to discuss other things that happened. In that prophecy that I released on the 16th of July, 2020, go and watch it. It is right here on this YouTube channel. Go and watch it. The title is Powerful Prophecies for Mazen and Kanu and Chief John Nnawuihe. When you listen to that prophecy without skipping it, don't skip it. Anytime you're watching my videos, don't skip. Watch from beginning to end. You will be shocked. That prophecy lasted for about 25 minutes. It is a catalog of prophecies. It is a catalog. Not only one prophecy is inside of it. It's a catalog of prophecies, well detailed. Well detailed. And Ucheme 4 is captured in that prophecy before he betrayed. That prophecy is still here on this platform. I am happy that I'm fulfilling my purpose upon the face of the earth. That by the time I finish my work, by the time I must have completed my assignment upon the face of the earth, and by God's grace enjoy the fruit of my labor, after I die, generations to come will continue to remember Maxwell Nnawuihe. They can never forget me. They cannot. That is one of the things, when I remember it, I am strengthened, I am encouraged. I continue to do my best to remain straightforward and truthful, never to fall, by God's grace. Became a multi-millionaire. IPOB made him who he is. Now he has turned around like a dog going back to his vomit. He now says that Biafra Restoration Project is more of political. But when he was the leader of deputy leader of IPOB, did he say so? He never said it. He was among those that commanded our people to go and protest against the Nigerian state. He never talked about election. He never championed anything campaign of election. He never championed anything voting. He never spoke in the favor of any governor. He never spoke in the favor of any president. He never spoke in the favor of any democratic rule in Nigeria. He had never, ever, he never mentioned it that it is practicable in Nigeria, that there is democracy in Nigeria that Biafrans can follow, or there is a democratic process that Biafrans can use to get what they want. He was all out against the Nigerian state. He was all out on the radio Biafra, vociferously, without mixing words. But after he fell, just like Lucifer, when Lucifer fell from heaven, he was Lucifer in heaven. But by the time he sinned against God, he became Satan, the devil. He became the dragon. He became the old serpent. He was cast out. Look at his face. The people of Biafra must constitute themselves as forces of democracy and anti-democratic forces. Part 1. Look at him. He's preaching democracy. No longer freedom. No longer referendum. No longer activism. He is now preaching democracy. Which am I for? Nnamdi Kanu suffered a lot. That's why I love him. That is why I will never stop what I'm doing for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. I will never stop what I'm doing for the restoration of Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu, I love him so much. Our church will love him. I will never stop. I will never stop doing what I'm doing to make sure that Nnamdi Kanu, not only that Nnamdi Kanu is released, but that Nnamdi Kanu is alive. He has done enough. He has done a lot. And you want to go to vote today. The time now is 19 minutes after 12 midnight. You want to go and vote. Any of you that stand, any of you that queue at any of your polling units to go and cast a vote, when you know that Nnamdi Kanu is still in DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria, when you know that Nnamdi Kanu is being brutalized, when you are aware that Nnamdi Kanu is being tortured, when you, oh God in heaven, oh God in heaven, you are wicked. You are wicked. You are devilish. You don't deserve freedom. You don't deserve protection. You don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. You are evil. I will stand on the truth, even if it means standing alone. None of our members will try to say that they are good. They can't try it. They cannot. None of the members of our church, none of them will go and vote. None of them will. They cannot do it. Say you are going to vote. Vote what? You can't try it. After this video, we bring this very broadcast to an end to reconvene today again.
On which Biafra is to be restored in the first place. So we need to educate ourselves. We need to enlighten ourselves. We need to come to the consciousness of the fact that without political participation, without democratic process, without the people of Biafra taking political control of the territory that is Biafra, then we're going nowhere.
Are you hearing him? Are you hearing what he's saying? He's now championing that Biafran people should take political control of their Biafran territory. No longer activism. No longer agitation. Anybody that didn't know the history of this man that is showing on the screen, anyone that didn't know this man you're seeing his face on the screen now, if you didn't know him about 3 years ago or 4 years ago or 5 years ago, you would think that he's making a lot of sense. You would think that this man is genuine. You would think that he is saying the truth. You would think that he means well for the people. You would think that he has the best interest of Biafrans at heart. That's what you would think. That's what you will conclude. But it's not true. He sold out. He sold out. He betrayed. He sabotaged. He became corrupted. He became corrupted and defiled. Defiled. He was stained. He was derailed. He fell from the, look at the position, deputy leader of IPOB. He fell from that very level Just like when Satan was cast out of heaven, look at the height of heaven, and Satan was cast down. Look at his position, former position in IPOB, and he was cast down. He derailed. Look at his face. He is now enjoying life. Money, 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 money. When you die, how many pounds are they going to put in your casket? How many pounds or dollars are they going to put in your grave for you? How many? People that lack honor and integrity. But up to today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still as constant as the light. Up to now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains unshakable and immovable. Can you just understand why there is need for you to abstain from anything election? Can you now understand why you should stand in solidarity with Nnamdi Kanu, a man that has given all, a man that never reserved anything for you, that you may be free, that our nation, our generation may be free, that our unborn children may be free, to hand over to our unborn children a befitting future, a prospective future, a prosperous future. I'm going to allow him to say the trash that he has in his mouth. And after that, we're going to bring this broadcast to an end. We're going to reconvene again today. While the so-called election will be going on, we may be broadcasting to update and to prove to you that these people are about to embark upon a journey into the land of Moab. And this journey is going to last for 8 years, of which many of them may not be alive till the end of it. As it happened in the days and in the family of Elimelech and Naomi. This journey they are about to embark upon today, many of them will not come back in the next 4 years or 8 years.
Because the members of the international community cannot, in all honesty, from every ethical perspective, have the justification to engage those who do not have control of the territory that they are claiming that is theirs.
So are you now telling us that Nnamdi Kanu, are you now telling us that all the protests that Biafrans protested, that took the attention of international communities, that drew the attention of the international communities, that they even came to Isiama Faruku and they had different interviews with Nnamdi Kanu while he was out? Are you now telling us that it was not enough? Are you not telling the whole world that all of those exercise, all of those recognition of IPOB, the registration of IPOB, that the IPOB has its presence in different countries of the world, about 100 and something countries of the world? Are you not telling us it is all a waste of energy, a waste of resources? Are you not telling us that IPOB is no longer recognized by the host countries of Biafrans where they are duly registered? Is that what you're not saying? You're talking about international community. What about the United Nations order last year? What about the United Nations order last year? That in their order, they made it very clear that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an activist and that he is calling for the Biafran referendum. Which other international community participation or awareness you are talking about? That you are now telling Biafrans that the only way to get their attention or to get them involved is by participating in Nigerian politics. How can a freedom fighter join the oppressor in politics? A politics that is controlled and influenced by the oppressor, by the aggressor. How can those that are seeking for freedom now begin to work in the company or begin to live in the same bedroom with their killer, with their abductor, with their oppressor, with the aggressor? How can? And you call yourself a freedom fighter? They go to the poll, you join. They vote, you vote. The same constitution. The same constitution you are agitating to separate yourself from, to become independent from. The constitution is what that validates the sovereignty of the country. The constitution of Nigeria is one of the things that validates the sovereignty of Nigeria. Now, Biafrans want to be free from Nigeria. How are you going to allow yourself to be entangled in the same constitution? Because elections are product of constitution. They are laws. The electoral law derives its legitimacy from the constitution of the country. And so you want to be free, but you have to participate in the election. That is what a former deputy leader of IPOB is saying today. What a shame.
Politically, in that sense, they cannot speak to those who don't have political control of the territory that is theirs, that they are claiming that is theirs.
A liar. You are a liar.
And that is why it is better for us to get it right and get delayed than to get it wrong and get derailed.
You already derailed. You.
That is what Biafra de facto customary government has come to do this time around.
What have they achieved? Since this very de facto customary government was established, what have they achieved? What? Name one thing that they have achieved. Nothing. Apart from name calling, apart from insulting Nnamdi Kanu, apart from castigating IPOB, apart from saying all manner of things to dampen the spirit of the people, to deceive the gullible, what have they achieved? Nothing.
So, the people of Biafra, we must continue to reiterate, must not constitute themselves as anti-democratic forces. They should rather be promoters and forces of democratization, the forces of democracy, intent on building very strong institutions and values that the future egalitarian Biafran society is going to be known for. And so, it doesn't matter how long it takes. The most important thing is that we are doing the right thing. That is number one. And I also want to speak in another sense with reference to the issue of politics, which is one of the central issues.
Okay, are you listening?
That led to Biafra agitation of present, of late. Political emasculation, political disenfranchisement of Biafrans from the mainstream Nigerian political establishment.
Listen to him.
Has been one of the grievances. And so this time around, we can, all of us can attest to the fact that there is a Biafran. I think there are two Biafrans.
Are you listening to him?
Who, as we speak, vying for the office of the president of Nigeria.
He is not campaigning. He's not campaigning. He's not campaigning for them to go and vote today. Look at him. What a shame.
What does that suggest to us? There are hardcore Biafra activists. And my view, and I argue, is that these pro-Biafra activists, politicians in Biafra land, must concentrate on Biafra territorial politics with a view to taking over the political control of Biafra land. In another sense, and on the other hand, there are Biafrans of different nations who are pro-Nigeria establishment. These are pro-Nigerian politicians from Biafran territory They should go ahead and fight for the right of Biafrans.
He's campaigning for election. I don't know how much they paid him. Now he has come out to campaign. Go and vote. It's not democracy. It's no longer freedom fighting.
In Nigeria. Because as we speak today, Biafra has not been restored. And the reality is that we are still under the political arrangement within the Nigerian state.
He's now telling you to give up agitation. That's what he's telling you now. He's not telling you, forget about the Biafra agitation. Join politics. That is what he's saying.
And therefore, with respect to our investment, to the laws that the people of Biafra have been subjected to, we are still Nigerian citizens.
Did you hear that?
Until such a time
that they are still Nigerian citizens. Are you seeing that? That this man is gone. Ordana Dawashishishi. He failed woefully. Nothing is remaining. The level of sabotage is wholesome, is in totality. Nothing is reserved. Conscience is dead. He became a multi-millionaire as the deputy leader of IPOB. These are people that they built houses for him. They trained him. Nnamdi Kanu was surrounded by enemies inside and outside. Nnamdi Kanu was a man alone. That's why I will never stop to pray for him. And he will not die. Anything that I let him do, he will not die. He will come out alive, healthy. God will heal him.
the people of Biafra successfully extricate themselves from the Nigerian state, we will not shy away from defending our rights within the Nigerian state, because it goes two ways. We must not forget, as we move ahead.
This man is so wicked.
With the quest for the restoration of Biafra, that we also have to fight for our rights against oppression, against marginalization, against all manner of human rights abuses, against lives protection, against the destruction of lives and property from external forces within the Nigerian state, as well as agitating for and exercising our right to self-determination with respect to Biafra restoration. There is no argument that can, overrule or overshadow this or invalidate this revelation and the reality of our time. And so, as we speak today, we have at least two candidates who are from Biafra stock and who are vying for the office of the President of Nigeria.
Are you hearing him?
Our people must not shy away from supporting them.
Did you hear that?
As a matter of fact,
who know how much they paid him this time around? Who know how many million they give to Chemefo? You people should support us. We are the people doing the job. The account number displaying on the screen is not a joke. It's not for fancy. It's not a wallpaper. It's not for background. No. We need your support. We need your support. I've told you several times, we cannot say everything that we do. We cannot say everything on air. We are the people doing the work. We are the people doing the job. If we fold our hands, the story will change for the worse. Those that are very close, they know exactly what I'm saying. I am so disciplined that no matter what happens, I can never come on air and begin to say the things I'm not supposed to say on air. No matter how the pressure comes, no matter how difficult it is for us, no matter how terrible it is for me, I can never come out on air and say it. I can never do it. People like us are very special. People like us are very, very special. Very, very special people. The kind of grace that God gave to us is unmatched. That we can endure so many things that even when it is about to swallow us, we will not still come out and say it on air. If we have closed our mouth, not only the 3 months fasting and prayer last year, after the 3 months fasting and prayer, we continued. We never stopped. We never stopped. Even when the 3 months fasting and prayer was going on, we are still having our weekly prayers, separate Saturday prayers every Saturday since 2021. Since 2021 September, we have been having Saturday prayers every Saturday of the week. Every Saturday of the week with the Biafran women. We have our prayers every Saturday of the week. Since after their London rally, 2021, from September, every Saturday we pray. We gather, we pray every Saturday. When the 3 months fasting and prayer was going on, from January to March, after the normal fasting and prayers and broadcast, every Saturday we will still gather and pray. After the 3 months fasting and prayer ended and protest ended, we continued with the Saturday prayer till today. Today is Saturday. After the so-called election, we will still gather in the evening today. Today is Saturday. We will still pray today. I am on air right now. This is to 1 a.m. The time now is 20 minutes to 1 a.m. I'm on air. We will still reconvene during the election period and broadcast. And after that, we will still reconvene on our Zoom platform to pray this same Saturday in the evening. Every Saturday we pray. Many of you don't know we are paying. When I was running my project, my course in school, throughout the period I was running that very program, as we are writing tests, we were still fasting and praying. As I was writing exam, I was still fasting and praying. As I was writing assignment, I was still fasting and praying. Even when I was doing research, writing my project, I was still fasting and praying. I was still fasting and praying. We were still fasting and praying. Midnight prayers, fasting and prayers, dry fasting. How can you combine it with academic work? I never gave excuses. I never gave up and say, oh, I'm in school, I'm running a program, let me relax. After the school, I can continue with what I'm doing for my nation. I can continue with my prayer for Nnamdi Kanu. I can continue, I'm in school. Many of you nobody knew that I was in school. I was running a program. None of you knew. I didn't come on air to announce it. If it were some pastors, they will come out. Nobody will hear something for them. They will be shouting, oh, I'm in school. We are doing this. Help us. Oh, we need money. Oh, help us. Oh, school fees. Oh, this. Look at what we're doing. We don't make noise. I don't make noise. I'm a man of integrity and principle. Anything I tell you publicly, anything I tell you on air, listen to me and do it. It's not everything you hear. It's not everything I tell you. It's not everything I announce. Do you understand what it means? We were doing four courses every day. Four courses every day. Do you know what it means? To do 4 courses every day. Every blessed day, 4 courses. Every day. We are studying our textbooks. We are fasting and praying. I am praying. I'm studying my textbooks. I am still praying. I'm thinking about Nnamdi Kanu. I'm thinking about Biafra. I am doing research. I am thinking about him. I am praying. I am fasting. I'm receiving calls from different countries of the world. Sometimes while writing assignment, call will come in. That is the end of writing that assignment. I will attend to them. We will pray before I go back to write my assignment. Do you know what it means? Sometimes 2 days at a stretch, I don't sleep. 2 days at a stretch, 2 days, 2 consecutive days, 48 hours, no sleep. And people will look somebody like me and they will not support me. People will look at somebody like Maxwell Nnawuihe, they don't care, they don't care.
And we must have to put it across. There is no president of Nigeria that can solve the problem orchestrated by Nigeria and Nigerians against Biafrans, especially on the issue of the massacring of millions of Biafrans in cold blood and unjustly too. A Nigerian president of Biafran stock or extraction can actually do something that will bring about advancement in the cause for the restoration of Biafra. A Nigerian president of Biafra extraction.
So a Nigerian president of Biafra extraction he's talking about now is Peter Obi. That is whom Uchemefo is campaigning for. He has made his money. Oh. That's why things are moving so easily with them. They can do any project they want to do because they have the money. And that's why they are waxing stronger. Why the saboteurs are waxing stronger is because they have more money. And why people like us, it is difficult for us to achieve some things is because we don't have money. That is the truth of the matter. We don't have support. It's only a few people. It's only a few people. 3 people. 3. They are no more than 3. That from time to time, they don't even need anybody to remind them. They will send something across and say, man of God, support for the ministry. We know what is going on. Only a few. About 2 of them, they are watching. They are here watching. They are here watching. Only a few. Look at the cloth I wear. You people, you see the kind of cloth I put on. A whole me, a man of my level. Do I buy clothes? All the money that comes into my hands goes back into expenses, the work of God, work of God. Where do I live? All the money that comes into my hands goes back into the work, into the work, into the work. Don't I have a life to live? I have a life to live. But I'm constrained. I prioritize the basic things that are of greater value, which is for the overall benefit of my generation than my personal interest. He's campaigning for P2B. They have paid him millions. He has the money. Can't you see how he's looking fresh? Look at his face. All of a sudden, he's not like a small boy. It's money. We are stressed out because of too much stress and engagement. If you don't support us, I don't know whether you are a child of God or I don't know what to call you. I don't know. Support.
In this case, Mr. P2B and his policy.
Did you hear that? I told you he was campaigning for P2B. Freedom fighter, back walk on. Look at him.
For the restoration of Biafra.
Him.
A Nigerian president of Biafra extraction, in this case,
yes,
Mr. P and his policy is going to solve a lot of problems in the Nigerian state.
Save this video. Uchemefo said that P2B is going to solve a lot of problems. Uchemefo, they have paid him. He has made his own campaign. Save the video.
As well as its effects in the areas that affect their funds. That presidency of Mr. Obi or Governor Obi is going to make the northern part of Nigeria to be self-reliant. It's going to open up a lot of economic activities and ensure progress
Oh, the devil.
in productivity.
Satan. That people, I can't understand the way you manage to enter inside people and possess them. And they will begin to speak for you. They begin to talk on your behalf.
The issue of resource control is going to be sorted out. The issue of regional arrangement is going to be sorted out. In fact, restructuring along structural lines is going to be looked into. And so, if all these things are actually dealt with, there is no way this will not help the Biafran activists to cement and to fight for political control of Biafra land. But what his presidency cannot do and can never succeed in doing is to bring back the lives of millions of Biafran men.
I think we are done with this trash. We are done with this very hopeless thing here. I just decided to bring it to your knowledge that you may understand that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been doing this all alone. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been fighting all alone. When he was crying that he needed only 100 men, now you can understand that thousands of those that surrounded him were all fake. Only one or two. They were jumping up and down everywhere. Each time he traveled to different countries of the world, they will come out, town hall meeting. They will come out, they will take pictures, selfie. They will be singing, "Holy, holy, holy, Nnamdi Kanu is another savior," which is true. But then they were singing in hypocrisy, not in reality. You have seen it. Why you must stand shoulder to shoulder with Nnamdi Kanu. You have seen it. A man that has been tested and proven, that can be trusted. You have seen it. A man that is unbendable. A man that is incorruptible. You have seen it. That you must show him respect today by staying back in your house. Don't insult him. Don't spit on his face in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu is not held in DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria for you to go and vote. Nnamdi Kanu is not held in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria. He is not been tortured for almost 2 years now that you may go and vote today. No. He is being tortured there. He is being brutalized. Of course, you know what is going on with his health. He is undergoing life-threatening sickness and health challenge for your freedom, not for election, not for democracy, for referendum, not for resource control, not for restructuring, not for free and fair election. Nnamdi Kanu is in the DSS dungeon right now, this midnight. I don't even know how he is feeling. I don't even know what they have done to him today. I don't even know how they have tortured him today or yesterday. I don't even know what he's going through presently as I am broadcasting right now. He is not going through what he's going through now for you to go at the polls and vote today. He is there in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria, for total emancipation of our people, for total restoration of Biafra, not for a free and credible election. No, not for Igbo presidency. No, not that P2B will become the president or for Bola Tinubu to become president or Atiku to become president. No, he is there in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria, put his life in the line, denied of the comfort of his wife, denied of his freedoms, denied of everything that is his entitlement, that it may be well with you, that it may be well with us. It is not too much a sacrifice for you to stay back in your house today. It is not too much of a sacrifice for you to respect Nnamdi Kanu today. If you go out and vote, they will still do what they want to do. They will still put the person they want to put there. They will still rig the elections. Today, when we come back for the second broadcast, by then our devices must have been put in order. I am going to play a lot of clips for you. You will see the election is already rigged. It is playing on your intelligence that you will file out today in a line for accreditation and subsequently for voting today. It will be a slap on your face. And if you do that, you are simply spitting on the face of Nnamdi Kanu. You are calling him stupid. You are calling him a fool. You are calling him names. You are mocking at him. You are insulting him. You are not sensitive to his plight, to what he's going through. And ultimately, you have embarked upon a journey of 8 years into the land of Moab. With this, I bring this broadcast to an end. And I want to thank every one of you who have been with us from yesterday around 10 p.m. until now, almost 3 hours. Thank you so much. Those of you that love me, that care for me, who pray for me as well, thank you so much. The very few of you, one of you, about 3 of you, you are watching now who has been helping, supporting us financially in the little way you can. Thank you very much. And to the members of August Praise International Appointed Place who always listen to me and obey my instructions, which is for our overall interests, thank you so much. And to the great leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazen Amekano, who is right now in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria. Thank you so much, Mazen Amekano. And I thank every one of you who have been so dedicated and so supportive of the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Every one of you. May the Lord protect you. May the Lord guide you. May the Lord keep you. You will not die a shameful death. May the Lord heal you of any kind of sickness in your body. May the Lord bless you where people curse you. May the Lord open doors for you where people shut doors behind you. May God protect you and allow his countenance to shine upon you. May you be lifted above every limitations that is placed before you. All this I pray and ask in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen and amen. And from here, it is good morning. Don't forget to support us, and God in heaven will bless you immensely.